so what you are going to be seeing out of 1 Chronicles chapter 1 is the order of things from Adam, the first man, to Abraham. And this is important because I've heard a false prophets preach, say that Adam was not the first man to be created, but he is the first man to be created in the image of God.
Okay, so this absolutely blew my mind when I found out about this. Because there are so many Bible conspiracies that are 100% bogus. But there is this one theory, which I'm not gonna lie, sounds completely absurd until you actually read what it says. Now, I'm talking about the pre-Adam humans which God created one day before Adam and Eve. Okay, so in Genesis 1:26, we hear that God says, "Let us make mankind in our own image, in our likeness. Male and female, he created them. Then God blessed them and said to them, 'Be fruitful and increase in number, fill the earth and subdue it.' And it was so." And it was so. See, in days 1 through 5, when God creates the world, when God commanded something into existence, that thing would just burst forth, and it was so. Now on day 6, it tells us that God created man and women in his own image. Male and female, he created them. And he gave them the whole world to subdue. But the very next day, in the very next chapter, on day 7, God then places a man in the Garden of Eden, and his wife would be taken from his rib. Genesis 2:15, "Then the Lord God took the man and put them in the Garden of Eden. You are free to eat from every tree in the garden, but you must not eat from the tree of knowledge." After reading Genesis, it seems like there were humans populating the earth before Adam and Eve, and then God made Adam and Eve, which populated the Garden of Eden. It kind of seems like there are two groups of humans.
So the false prophet was claiming, saying that, hey, we used to have other people in the world, but the first man who was created in the image of God was Adam.
Did you know that Adam and Eve were not the first humans created by God? God created humankind in his image. In the image of God he created him. Male and female he created them. Genesis 1:27 TLV. According to the Bible, God created the heavens and the earth and everything in them. And then he created man in his own image. People think that Adam and Eve were the first to be created and that everyone on earth today is descended from them. But this is not true. In this video, we will look at the biblical and logical evidence that will reveal the truth. Let's begin. It will be recalled that Adam and Eve once lived in the Garden of Eden before they were expelled from it after they ate from the forbidden tree. If they had not sinned and eaten from the tree, they would still have remained in the garden. If we read the book of Genesis in verse 127, we will see that the Bible already described the creation of mankind, male and female, before the story of Adam and Eve. If Adam and Eve had not sinned and eaten from the forbidden tree, all their offspring would have been born in the Garden of Eden. Therefore, if they continued to reproduce, they would populate only the Garden of Eden, not the whole world. Now let's see what the Bible said after the creation of mankind. God blessed them and God said to them, "Be fruitful and multiply, fill the land, and conquer it. Rule over the fish of the sea, the flying creatures of the sky, and over every animal that crawls on the land." Genesis 1:28 TLV. According to the Bible, God blessed mankind that he created, and he told them to fill the earth. Another word for land is earth. Many Bible translations use the word earth to describe this verse. If this instruction was given only to Adam and Eve, it would not make sense because Adam and Eve were preserved in the Garden of Eden. If they multiplied, they would fill only the garden, not the whole earth.
But the Bible is very clear. Can we go please to Genesis chapter 1? "And God said, Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that keepeth upon the earth." So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him, male and female created he them. So we believe that when the Bible is giving the account of the first man being created in the image of God, we simply believe that the Bible is speaking about Adam. That is what the Bible teaches. Any other extra information besides this is of the devil, because 1 Chronicles verses 1 says Adam. So it means all things in terms of human being started out with Adam.